Herblore. The most cringe skill a UIM faces upon his journey. With obvious banking limitations, I've been storing all of my Herblore ingredients in my looting bag. Some ingredients I've been collecting for years at this point. My most impressive stash of supplies is my coconut and cactus spine collection. At my peak, I had a little bit over 11k each, and with fluctuating prices, I was capping at around 50 million GP worth of supplies in just those alone. A lot of you are probably looking at these two ingredients and saying, what the heck can you make with this? Well, it doesn't require an herb, but it does require you to have red spider eggs. And the potion that it does make is a weapon poison plus potion. I'll be getting more into detail of the weapon poison plus later on because the beginning of this grind is actually going to be with mole. And that is because I had a little bit more than 4,000 toad flax unfinished potions that I've been passively collecting over the years to go ahead and make Ceradomin brews. My best friend for this part of the grind is actually going to be Wyson the Gardener, located in Herblore Park. That is because he takes mole parts and exchanges them for boxes of birds' nests. Those boxes of birds' nests will then slowly be emptied as I make my Ceradomin brews. For any UIM considering this grind, it is a must that you complete the Herblore Hard Achievement Diary. That is because you're going to be getting the Herblore Shield 3, which helps you locate where the mole is at all times, as well as all the mole's skin and the mole claws will be in noted form. This part of the grind actually wasn't that bad. It took about 24 days to complete. That's because I didn't have max gear or anything like that. I did have a cannon, however I had no cannonballs. It was more just to scare off anybody who came to my world if I wasn't in the middle. Every kill is going to average out to about 3 mole pieces. That's because you get a promised mole claw, as well as a 1 through 3 mole skin drop. It was a little over 1,300 kills total to get all the mole pieces that I needed to turn into Wyson. However, when I did complete this, I did not turn in the pieces just yet. I wanted to go on to the next step of the grind, which is red spider eggs. Before doing so, I do need a death bank so I have as much inventory space as possible. This brings us to the next part of the grind. The Tower of Life. After completing Ardone medium diary task, the spadines in this tower will drop red spider eggs in noted form. For the red spider egg grind at the Tower of Life, you do need some red spider eggs to begin with. A good place I go to is the Fourthos dungeon, and then, in addition to this, you also do need some sardines. The best place that I got my sardines for this part of the grind was by teleporting to my POH, and then going to Waterbirth Island, and from there, going to Relica Marketplace, and trading this guy right here to go ahead and get your sardines. When you have your red spider eggs and your sardines, you can go ahead and teleport to the tower, and then you kind of just offer them, and keep on repeating this process. There we go ham. This is pretty straightforward. Use either an egg or sardine on the shrine, and the spadine will be spawning. 1 spadine for every offering. Also, if you're death banked, it's pretty relatively safe activity as long as you are protected from melee. Those came out of nowhere. Literally, where were those in the prepping stages? As I was going along with this grind, I was looking for ways to just make my trips a little bit faster. I learned that actually teleporting from the Ardone cloak, that's going to save you a few moments. As well as one thing that I was really trying to complete is the Elite Fremennik Diary. That comes with the Fremennik boots that teleports you to the Relica Marketplace and literally just a few tiles away from the guy that sells the sardines. So, I did take a little tiny hiatus from this grind, and I went ahead and tried to finish the few steps that I did not have completed, but was definitely capable of doing. The steps that I need to complete is creating a Dragonstone Amulet in the Neat's Knot Furnace, crafting 50 sticks Astral Runes at once from the Essence, and then kill each of the Dagonoth Kings. I have never done this before in my life, so I definitely need to go do that, and everything else I have just completed just by mere chance of just playing RuneScape. Every time I need a Dragonstone, I usually just do mining stars because I buy a gem bag, So that's where I set out for a few hours. If I'm lucky, I can get a little bit less, or maybe on the first try, but this one took a few hours. Okay, I am more than likely getting Dragonstone. Buy 4 of these bad boys, and there you go. 2 Dragonstones. Nice. Let's go! I'm going! Is that it? Hey, I completed it. Okay, so now I only have, I love that outfit so much. That outfit is... Here goes my first attempt ever. Let's go! Damn. I only had one Dagnith King left, which was the melee one. When I was waiting outside, just looking at guides and stuff, I did happen to see 2 people trying to do the same thing as me. We ended up coming with a plan to where I would just focus on the melee guy, and they would do everything else. Here's how this went. There we go. I'm cheating. I came in here with the group of Iron Man people. I'm a group Iron Man. Oh my god, that guy just got cleared. Please. Please. Is that the diary? It is! I completed it! And I'm going to use this antique lamp. How much XP is this going to be? That's got to be a lot. Woo! 50k. Right down. 84 Herblore. I am back on my red spider egg grind. I'll go ahead and show you guys a sped up version of the walkthrough for restocking my inventory. This path was by far the most efficient, and so fast that you're able to get back to the Spadines in less than a minute. The biggest takeaway that I'd like to express to you guys is that getting the Fremy boots after completing Fremennik Elite Diaries was definitely the best decision. If you're a UIM and you are unable to do so, I would say it's still fine to do them without them. Because getting the red spider eggs in a noted form is definitely good, but this is probably something more end game because of the requirements to do so. Look at that. 11k. Wow, this was a grind. I still need to pick some more coconuts and cactus spine to catch up to the spider eggs, but this is what we're looking at. For the meantime, I will be doing some star mining while I go ahead and accumulate more ingredients. Alright, look at that. I was able to get all the ingredients that I need, and I also maxed out my celestial ring, so this is just an excess stardust that I don't need, so I'm just going to drop it for now. I started off this grind trying to find a secluded area with a nice view. After a few inventories of getting used to it, I tried to see if there was any possible way to make it a little bit faster. I was hoping Zahur and Narda could possibly do it. Turns out that no, she cannot help you. I was looking for a very good spot to get this grind done. I wanted to make some money back, so I was looking for the closest general store to a bank. I'd like to introduce you all to Arnold Lidspor. This guy is located in Piscatores Fishing Colony. He is a bank and a general store. Being both, I can unnote my items on him, as well as sell my finished potions to him to make back some money that I have pretty much will be throwing away otherwise. For any UIMs doing some sort of skill that requires you just to pretty much dropping anything that you are making, I highly suggest that you actually go to this guy and sell the stuff instead, because it's better to make back some money than none at all. You can world hop if you want to increase the amount of money that you get back, but otherwise, I was too lazy. I didn't really feel like it. With a recent update, you can actually move around the modules by holding on the Alt button and then just dragging them wherever you want. This helped with the grind a little bit. After doing this so much, you actually get pretty quick at being able to crack the coconuts. Ooh, almost. Oh! 85 Herblore, one of many to come. Nice. This part of the grind was definitely not that fun. It took me a little bit over 7 days to complete, and that is with logging and doing nothing but this. 86 Herblore. Look at me! Look how fast I can crack coconuts! Alright, here we go. I am finally nearing the halfway mark. I just broke the 6K coconuts. Woohoo! 87 Herblore. Finally in the 3K range. Exactly what we're looking for. Keep on going. 88 Herblore. Here's a speed through of going through an inventory. Every inventory is probably about a minute long. If you're very tick perfect, you can get it a few seconds earlier. But if you're kind of going lazy, you're looking at about a minute. I have 300 left. Look at that. What a journey. 100 left. Hell yeah! Almost made it to a level. I just needed another 140. So I will definitely be getting to 89 tonight. Bringing me to a total level of 2053. And bada bing, bada boom. I am done. I don't even think that I need these hammers anymore. This was a very passive method for Herblore. I've just been collecting these ingredients for a very long time, but I do not suggest this method for anybody. This was god awful. Alright everyone, this is where I go ahead and confirm and lock in my next grind, which is with my buddy Wyson the Gardener. Going about giving him, okay, I will trade mole parts. Yes, please. There you go. Now have some mole parts. I have a total of just mole parts. It is 29,345,698. And then you plus that with the 10,472,800. You're looking at about 39,818,498. I started off extracting the nests that had the rings attached so that I could start filling up my Ring of Suffering. I wanted to get that out of the way just so I can get the cosmic runes out of the way. Another thing that you could probably do is check the amount that is in each box and go in order of whichever one has the least amount in it so you can clear out the boxes faster. Usually the first inventory of Herblore is going to be a little bit worse than the rest because you have a whole empty inventory, empty for a UIM, and it's going to fill up all the spaces. So I had all of my nest filling up the rest of my inventory when I only needed half of my inventory to be available. Normally I'm more aware of this, but I completely forgot that the nests were going to have the rings inside of them, and when I opened them, this is what happened. Here's a speed through of what it looks like doing Herblore with these types of nests. Every inventory, I did make sure to go ahead and enchant each sapphire ring and put it into my ring of suffering. This part of the grind was so much better because I'm used to this type of method. I also ended with more than 16,000 charges on my ring. 89 Herblore. Very nice. Some things I suggest during an herb grind at Grand Exchange. First of all, mute everything. It is very annoying hearing people like make pies or whatever, high alking, all that stuff, and people's pets walking around. Another thing you should be doing is turn on Entity Hider, hide everyone but the NPCs. There is a difference in difficulty between the bird's nest boxes, the ones between the rings, the seeds, and the empty nest. The empty nest is by far the easiest because you just take them out. When it comes to the seeds, that is definitely by far the worst. I started getting so many seeds that it just made sense to eventually let go of my celestial ring, and that includes all the 10k stardust that I had stored up inside of it. Some people this may hurt, but I was not using it at all. I was very much so happy getting a lot of the seeds that I was getting because it just helped me with a future Herblore grind later on. Another reason why the bird's nest box that holds the bird's nest with the seeds in it is a little bit worse than the others is because the quantity and the amount that's actually inside the boxes. It is the biggest one compared to all the other ones. It's going to have a lot more inside of it compared to the one. I think the rings has the least amount. But the rings was also kind of okay to deal with because I could just drop the stuff at the Grand Exchange. I didn't have to run around like I am right now. Woo! 90 Herblore. I never thought that I'd make it this far, but there you go, look at that. I can now make super combat potions. If you're a UIM and needing a serious amount of seeds, considering the mole is probably a very good idea. And if you do have the other requirements, do like Faldor diaries and whatnot, because the amount of seeds I'm getting right now is just so crazy. I'll show at the end how many I end up getting, but definitely worth it. And there we go. Last one. Here's all the seeds that I have here. 3.4 mil, just about, and ones that I wanted to keep. By the time I was done with this, I had in all about 20 mil worth in seeds. Now for the part that I've been waiting for a very long time. Actually being able to make super combat potions. This has been my main goal and the main reason why I set out to even get my Herblore level up to begin with. I've had so many of these ingredients in my looting bag for so long, it feels so nice being able to actually use them now and get a whole bunch of crap out of my looting bag that I prefer not to have anymore. Making this potion did take a little bit getting used to since it is so different than all the other ones. I'd like to share some tips for UIMs out there because this can be hell. If you're doing it the way that I'm currently doing it right now, that is not the best way. I'm currently dropping 2 vials to then decant all of them to 1 and then back to 4. You don't need to drop the 2 vials. Since making these potions are a little bit different than others, your inventory will be looking different by the time you go over to Murky Mat to decant them. So, take a look at this example. You can keep everything in your inventory and then decant it just straight away. My second tip for decanting potions in general, other than the super combats, is that you do not need to drop 2 items every single time. You can decant to 4, and then you decant to 3. This will save you lots of money because it actually doesn't cost you anything as long as you already have some noted empty vials on you. The reason decanting super combats is a little bit different is because you're already dealing with 4 doses. When you're working with the super combats, your main goal is to get them back into the noted form, which is why decanting into dose 1s back to dose 4s should be just fine. Now my final tip is not something that I found out until the very last inventory that I did. That is, make as many potions as you can in your inventory beforehand going back to Murky Mat. With better inventory spacing, you can make 4 potions, next make 3 potions, and then you should have enough to make 2 potions. This will save you some time from going back and forth. This is, though, the last inventory that I have for when it comes to super combat potions, and actually where I will stop Herblore for this video. The Herblore that I did at Grand Exchange in total took me about 8 days to complete. In all, this whole Herblore grind took about 46 days. I am excluding days that I was not playing RuneScape, as well as days that I wasn't playing and doing editing instead. Anytime that I did log in, it was regarding something to do with this Herblore grind, and that's how long it took me to get all this. So if you're a UIM and you want to get an idea of what it's looking like to get a grind like this out of the way, this is what it's going to be looking like. Before the end, I will also go ahead and show my my death bank, so you guys could check that out as well. So here we go. This is my death bank, what it's looking like. I do have some more farming to get under control, but I will not be showing that in this video. In hindsight, this grind was not that bad at all. I really enjoy the benefits because I'm able to do a lot more PVMing now, as well as my looting bag is a lot more empty. This concludes the video, and I really hope that you guys like it. Thank you very much, and see you next time.